Naruto had never been to a party. He had never been celebrated in such a fashion, even among those he called friends. He was fine with that, since he never was keen on being the center of attention. Even so, just once, he wanted to be surrounded by people he cared for. He wanted the chance to be happy with all of them. He just felt like he didn't deserve that happiness, especially not after what he had failed to do. He still blamed himself. Haku noticed it immediately, and it didn't take long for everyone else to realize it too. Even though he was back in the village, he wasn't happy. Not completely. He never could, Haku thought, even if he brought Sasuke back. Although Naruto was the kind to never give up, he was also the kind to never forget his failures. It took a handful of covert messages and a lot of convincing, but the group of teens made it work behind Naruto's back. That was why Naruto found himself speechless, standing outside the new Ichiraku Ramen. Teiuchi and his daughter moved from their small stand into a proper building shortly after Naruto left. Contrary to what Naruto believed, most of the village liked Ichiraku. The only reason it wasn't frequented was because of him. Teiuchi and Ayame traded their customers to help Naruto ever since he was a child. Naruto had only learned this moments ago, as Karin and Sakura dragged him inside. The blonde wasn't sure how to act as his friends' voices filled the small room. A last hurrah before things went to hell. They had all been informed by Tsunade of the Akatsuki and the potential of them having to fight them. That, on top of Sasuke and Orochimaru, they knew things weren't going to be calm for quite some time. Naruto returning was the signal to prepare. Tenten was holding back the drunken Rock Lee, Neji forced to stay close in case the new Chunin went berserk. Choji and Ino dragged Shikamaru over for food as usual. Kiba and Shino were in an argument, though only the trained eye could tell that Shino was adamantly defending his point. Even Karin and Sakura were pulling Haku into the fun. Naruto found himself leaning against the wall with Hinata. The Hyuga was just as confused as he was. Due to her family issues, she never had been in celebration like this. So, are you and Neji doing alright, considering the Hyuga family dispute? He asked, trying to fill the silence between them. So, you heard about that? Hinata whispered. I only heard the basics. Something about the branch house protesting for the removal of the caged bird seal. You and a handful of others joined them. Hinata scoffed lightly. I was the only one who joined the protest. Those others you mentioned only helped voice the branch house's concern during the clan meeting. You didn't join the meeting? Hinata shook her head. I've been effectively replaced by Hanabi. I carry next to no weight in the clan now, even though my father and I have repaired our relationship. Naruto frowned. If I wasn't a Jinchuriki, I would try to help, but I would only make things worse if I did. Hinata smiled. Just knowing you care is enough. Don't worry. This recent incident will blow over. And when I'm ready, I have a plan in mind to help the branch house. Naruto smiled. Glad to hear it. I'll be rooting for both you and Neji. Hinata nodded in thanks, the two becoming silent once again. Naruto had to stifle a laugh as Haku almost tripped over her own feet. Her cheeks were red from the alcohol she had reluctantly taken. They were all Chunin, so they were allowed to drink. However, they were still teenagers. So Naruto expected everything to get a little hectic. I hope Teiuchi and Ayame don't have too much of a mess to clean after this. Hours went by, the moon now sitting directly atop the Leaf Village. Luckily, Karin and Sakura were able to use their medical ninjutsu to flush the alcohol from everyone's system. The party slowly died down, leaving only Team 7 and Karin and Ichiraku. Haku was still recovering from her first taste of booze, Sakura with a hand on her back. During your training, have you been able to learn more about the Uzumaki clan? Naruto asked Karin. I was told Tsunade supplied you with all the information they had on our relatives. Karin nodded. It wasn't much, nor did it say anything about my healing bite in particular. As far as I know, that's an exclusive power of mine, likely stemming from my high levels of chakra. Naruto chuckled. And I thought I had a lot of chakra. When we first met, our levels were pretty similar, but over the last 3 years, the difference between a pure and half-blooded Uzumaki is clear. Karin blushed, fixing her hair. I'm told you have enough chakra to outlast the One-Tails alone, not including the Nine-Tails. I suppose mine is roughly twice as much? All the more reason I use it to help people as a medic. Naruto smiled. I'm sure Tsunade appreciates having both you and Sakura as students. I haven't seen you at work, but I know you're good. What about you? Karin asked. Did you and Master Jiraiya find anything during your travels? Naruto frowned. Nothing. We had hoped to find the hidden Whirlpool Village, the home of the Uzumaki. However, any knowledge of its ruins no longer exist. It's become a phantom of the past now. I doubt anything regarding the Uzumaki remains, except the two of us. Karin sighed. No use worrying about it then. Besides, if our clan was revived, they may end up meeting the same fate anyways. Naruto smiled. That's fine with me. I already have one cousin to take care of, I don't need a whole clan. Karin punched him lightly in the shoulder, finally deciding to turn in. Apparently, despite her heritage, she didn't have the same level of stamina as Naruto. She'd been on and off work for the past week and was finally at her limit. She wanted to rest as much as possible before Tsunade put her back in the hospital. Naruto found himself alone with Haku and Sakura, an uneasy silence falling on them. Has Tsunade found any information on Sasuke? The blonde finally asked. Sakura shook her head. Him and Orochimaru have disappeared, not a single sighting. Same goes for the mist, Haku added. Naruto frowned. Pervy Sage said Orochimaru needs to transfer host bodies every few years. Sasuke wasn't strong enough to act as one. Odds are he will be in the next year or so. So, we're on a time limit, Sakura muttered. Naruto held his fist towards Sakura. His eyes stared with a blue fire that made Sakura's breath get stuck. She and Haku could see the pure determination in them. It was almost frightening. We will bring him back. Sakura nodded firmly, pressing her own fist against his. Haku lifted her own, joining the ring. Even though I don't have the same drive to save Sasuke, I will help you. Sakura smiled in thanks. The three were going to achieve their mission, no matter what. The forest haven was just as Naruto left it. He expected the civilians to find and ruin it, but luckily they didn't spend the time. The waterfall still ran eternally, the cuts and grooves in the trees still visible. A thin layer of dust covered the inside of the cave, all of Naruto's belongings still sitting against the wall. It's good to be back, he breathed out. Haku pulled him along, sleep in her eyes. Naruto didn't protest. She laid down as Naruto used a burst of wind to get rid of the dust filling the cave. He sat down beside her, letting out a deep sigh. I'm glad you're back, Haku whispered, leaning against Naruto. The bond held back his emotions, though he couldn't stop his hand. It slowly took Haku's, feeling her icy skin. It sent a sensation through his body he wasn't used to. Neither could find the words, even after 3 years. Naruto hadn't spent much time thinking about how he was meant to feel, but it looks like Haku didn't care. She just wanted to be with him. He couldn't protest, nor did he really want to. His other arm wrapped around Haku, the two embracing in the darkness of the forest. Only a sliver of moonlight allowed Naruto to see her deep brown eyes. Just as a smile was about to adorn his face, he felt a spike of pain. His body tensed, eyes snapping open. Haku bolted upright, feeling the chakra flowing back into Naruto. What's wrong? She asked frantically. The blonde didn't respond, eyes trembling as he jumped to his feet. In a flash of light, he was gone, dashing through the forest. Haku chased after him, her own eyes wide with worry. Naruto, stop, please! Naruto flew out of the forest, jumping from rooftop to rooftop with the help of Flying Phoenix. Haku chased after him with all her speed. He was halfway across the village by the time Haku managed to grab his arm. Naruto, tell me what's going on. Please! The blonde stared back at Haku, a look of terror on his face. I received memories from a shadow clone I gave Gaara years ago. It's the Akatsuki. They've attacked the hidden sand and captured Gaara. If you like what you just heard, consider hitting the subscribe button and bell icon to get notified about new videos. If there's a part you've missed, then check out the entire playlist on screen. If you like this story, please share it with your fellow anime lovers. Any support helps a lot. That's all for now. This is Ninja Kai, disappearing in a golden flash.